What up, Washington Commanders Nation? The 2026 NFL Draft is now in the books. I got my guy Josh Taylor over at Covering the Commanders on. Let's grade some draft picks, baby. Powered by Prize Picks. This is Rambling About Washington. What it do, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. No long intro needed today. Josh, what's good with you, my boy?
I'm hyped, man. I have to tell you, I don't like drinking the Kool-Aid early, and this was a down draft, like we said it for a long time. But I think Adam Peters might have done something, man. I really like this class, and I'm stoked to dive into it, grade it. Of course, there's some controversial picks, taking a quarterback when he had safety, but man, I'm stoked. I cannot wait to talk about this class and some UDFAs too that I got to dive into today.
I'm excited. Yep, there's a handful of UDFAs that they signed immediately after the draft concluded. I'm seeing Washington be heralded with very high marks on their class, and we're told in allegedly one of the best value drafts in all of the 2026 NFL draft. So to start us off, before we go pick by pick and do a complete deep dive into each prospect, I want to know, what is your initial thought? Soon as the last pick comes off the board, give me your full scope NFL draft initial thought and your first thought about the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, like I said, draft-wise, as a whole, the one thing that we heard, even since before the season, the college football season, everyone's like, it's going to be a weird draft. After the first round, you have no idea what's going to happen. You're going to see teams reaching for players, and then sure enough, the 49ers, the very first pick of day 2, stunned everyone with my guy, Deshaun Stribling, bro. I had him higher than anyone in the national media, and they took him a whole round before I thought he would. But it was interesting because, I look at Adam Peters and what he says about each pick. And he always said, the best player on our board. And he talked about the value and stuff like that. I think they really got a lot of really good value, but also addressed needs. I had a couple people text me Josh, I don't get this draft. Walk me through. What do you think about it? And I know that's what we're going to do today, but I just think top to bottom, they really addressed a lot of positions I wanted them to. But then when I sit back and look and see who they took and where they took them, I'm like, dang, man, they really left this draft with some home run hitters that can contribute, while we're looking at teams like the 49ers, the Jaguars. We're like, what the hell were they doing during the draft, man? So I know this is going to be an ugly class. There's not going to be a ton of all pros, a ton of, Pro Bowlers in this class, but
gold jackets.
Yeah, ain't no gold jackets in this draft class, except for Jeremiah Love. But I really think that they made the most of it. It's one thing to draft, have a ton of draft picks in a draft and land nothing. But if you can have only 6 and you get this kind of value in a down draft, a bad draft, when everyone's talking about 2027 and 2025, they completely overlooked this draft. I think Adam Peters did something. So I'm excited about this class. I like a lot of these guys. There's a lot of them that I talked about before the draft, and I think AP cooked, man. But we'll see. We got to see him on the field. I know people are getting pissed at us grading the draft and stuff like that already, but I think you do have to sit back and look at what they really did.
And to those folks who say things like that, what would you like us to talk about on April 27th? We don't have game data yet in NFL uniform. We don't even see them at rookie minicamp until May 8th. So all we can do right now is make way too early assessments, grades, and projections as to what these guys are going to be on the league. So my initial thought when the draft concluded was that also it was as weird as advertised. They told us this was a weird class. You're going to see weird value, and boy, did it not disappoint. My second initial thought, this might be the funniest like collection of draft calls and draft reactions in the history of the NFL draft, because some of these draft calls are gonna go triple platinum, bro. Did you see Zion Young's jump with the Ravens?
Dude, he said, "Did you not hear what I said? Put both your headphones in." To the beat writer, bro. To the beat reporter. I said, "No way!" Like, he is Baltimore already, dude. It was funny. There was one, I forgot who it was. There was a guy with the Jets. He literally thought it was a prank call.
Yeah, he thought it was a prank.
Talk to the owner, talk to two coaches. He's like, "All right, cool." And they're like, "All right, this guy does not sound excited at all that we drafted him." And then finally he got to the last coach. He's like, "Oh, this is real. Like, I thought this was a prank call."
This is a real call. That and Makai Lemon got stream sniped on his draft call. Like, literally. He's talking to the Steelers about going there. The Cowboys pulled the ultimate slime ball FU to their former coach. So they talk to Pittsburgh, find out that they're taking Lemon, and call up a divisional rival and say, "Yo, give me."
But they hate each other, like from way back in the day. Cowboys Steelers is a major rivalry, and it's funny because Mike McCarthy did take a lot of people with him too.
He did,
like former Dallas people. He took a lot of people with him. So as much as I hate the Cowboys, I'll sit back like, dang, like.
They used the comfort of that relationship to tell him, "Oh, we're taking Lemon at 23," and they said, "You thought so." Called up Philadelphia, had Lemon on the phone. His agent's like, "Yo, get off the phone. Philly's trading for you." That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good moment. The
Terrell brothers are on the same team. That is awesome. Two guys from Georgia playing for their hometown team.
Yeah, Zachariah Branch was meant to be a Falcon. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He might be on house arrest still anyways, but they probably wouldn't let him leave to go anywhere else. But yeah, I love seeing the Terrell brothers on the same team, man. Like, I hope Avion can start. I think he could.
It's beautiful, bro.
But man, yeah, that's the kind of stuff you like to see. I was kind of hoping for Lorenzo Styles, even though I don't think he's that good. But just for that like feel good moment, I was like, man, hopefully they get him in the 7th. But he went before they could even have that pick. So
and a class notoriously known to be not great. Like, you really can't say guys are overdrafted here because positional value was in the trash can. So let's keep it Washington Commanders, because they probably about to kick my back in and say, "Why are y'all talking about all these NFL things?" Now it was
a fun draft. It was a fun draft.
It was a very fun draft throughout the league. You know, the Eagles are eagling. They found a way to get Grenard on the team. They got Uar Bernard, the Nigerian who doesn't know what football is yet. So much to talk about. But my first thought, I like what AB did, but my first thought when the draft ended, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone when I say this, we didn't draft a single secondary player in the NFL draft. It was not on my bingo card that not one corner or not one safety was to be drafted there. So what I take from that is that they are a lot more comfortable about our cornerback and safety room than us fans are. What do you take by that?
I don't like the safety room. Like, I love Nick Cross. I think he's great, but like, Will Harris is big, bro. You see how big he got?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he did that on purpose or what he was trying to do, but it's just like they don't have a pure like free safety, in my opinion. Like, unless they really think that just Quan Martin is going to be that guy. But like the corner room, I don't know. They have a lot of bodies. Like, we all forget that they signed Witherspoon.
Like,
yeah, they like Witherspoon, like former 49er with Adam Peters, like he knows him. And then you have Robertson and Mikey going to pretty much compete for one of the spots, unless they both, you know, if one goes outside and one goes inside. But I don't know, man. I don't like the safety room. I could have sworn they were going to leave with something in this draft, but I don't know. Maybe Durante Jones looked at it and said, "Look, I actually like what we have here. Don't even worry about it. The scheme change is going to really fix what problems y'all had here."
I know a lot of fans immediately went to, "Oh my God, we're going to see Jartavis Quan Martin back at safety for another year." And I can understand that sort of thinking when you come out of the draft. I love the addition of Nick Cross. I think Amik could be a dog in this system, and I like the depth of Ahkello Witherspoon. I like Ahkello Witherspoon in that depth spot a lot more than I liked Jonathan Jones and Noah Igbenogany there.
Yes.
So rounding
or
out
Antonio Hamilton at 39 years old.
Antonio Hamilton Sr., man, who had a
I said where he come from. I said the retirement home. He ain't some undrafted free agent.
Our fans thought that was a spring chicken. Like, yo, we done found us a gem. That brother is mid-30s. That brother's my age.
Literally, he was just trying to get his last check.
So that tells me whatever combination of free safety between Jeremy Reeves and Will Harris, they're cool with that, or maybe a little bit of Quan Martin still sprinkled in. We think he's going to be in the nickel or like the slot now, right?
That's what I thought. I kind of thought Quan Martin would kind of have like that Jalen Kilgore, Keontae Scott-ish role, like a big nickel who's going to sometimes play out there in safety and like 3 safety sets. But I don't know. It really depends where they think Nick Cross is going to be best at. And I think they're going to move him around a lot because I think he can play both spots, honestly. I think he's great in coverage. I probably wouldn't put him as like a single high like safety by himself, but I think he can play free safety in these 2 safety sets. Or I think he can play strong safety. Honestly, I think he's like just an overall really good safety. Like I'm really high on Nick Cross, but it's like, then who else is going to come onto the field? And I think it is going to be Quan. And I guess Will Harris is going to have those reps too and split it with Reeves. But I'm just like, man, we saw what that looked like. I can't do that for another season, man. But I don't know. We got a UDFA we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. We're going to definitely talk about the UDFAs when we get through this draft class.
Speaking of safety room, I think he could shake something up.
I like to hear that because maybe the team is willing to pass on corner and safety because they believe in the guys. Maybe they have an inclination of what players are going to spring available after June 1 when guys start to trim these rosters down to get ready for training camp.
Yeah,
maybe there are some guys out there because Mikey Sainer is still in Trey Amos. We think Trey Amos has the potential to be a cornerback 1. I think it would be a little dangerous to just fully lean in and say, nah, that's cornerback 1, but he's the cornerback 1 right now. Well, how confident are you in Amos?
No, I really like Amos. I think he could be a cornerback 1. Obviously, a broken fibula kind of throws that off, but he's training, like he's good to go. I thought, I think him and Durante Jones' defense is going to work. He doesn't play as much press as, Trey Amos is probably used to. So I think he's going to be in zone a lot more than he was. So I do want to see what that transition is going to look like. But I thought it was interesting because we talked about these top 30 visits and how important they were.
And they clearly matter.
Bro, Malik Muhammad, Keontae Scott, Mansour Delane, Dalen Everett, 4 of them that we know of. I mean, we didn't even know Josh Josephs had a top 30 visit. We didn't know Antonio Williams had a top 30 visit. But they showed a lot of interest in these corners in this class. And that's why I was surprised they didn't take one. Because I'm like, damn, they were heavily invested in this position. Like more than, well, I'd say wide receiver was the top one because they met everybody. That was a wide receiver. If you caught a ball, I don't care if it was the 7th grade, 8th grade, you were getting looked at by Washington. But I was surprised. But they swear that Mikey is him. But we'll see. I think Mikey playing in a heavier zone scheme too is going to help him out too. Cause he's not going to be asked to run, hip to hip and man coverage as much.
Off coverage. Yes.
Yeah. Like let him be that instinctive, reactive guy. And that's where we saw like most of his interceptions. Like he's like feeling out the play and he's like, okay, I think he's going to go here. I think this route's going to go into the zone. And he kind of like jumps it and uses his instinct more than his, inability to, physically match the wide receivers that he's on. So Amos has that. Mikey doesn't. I think Mikey's going to improve in the coverage, like in the new scheme. I think it's going to help him. I think Amos is going to have to change up a little bit. Cause him and man, like I love Trey Amos and man, but I don't think they're going to run as much man as usual, but they're going to blitz a ton too from the secondary. That's something that Durante Jones did a lot. Corner blitzes.
Yep.
Who you sending? Mikey?
Yes. Yeah. He was a demon at it at Michigan. I want to get Mikey back to being what he was at Michigan. Blitz his little ass.
But you can't put him in the slot, bro.
No, hell no.
Like, bro, his run Mikey's run stopping in the nickel bad. That when Javonte Williams buried him on Christmas Day, I said, I better not see him ever again.
Yeah. We don't need to see. He don't got the technique, the hips, or the movement skills to play. Yeah, he don't got it, man. He the
size of my left eye.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mikey, though, man. Yeah. Door Gunner said this fast-paced draft. Oh, that's what I meant to say as well. Appreciate you, Door Gunner, for reminding me. Them changing the time on the first round draft. They paced this draft better than everything I've ever seen NFL draft. Why? This is how it should feel every year. Even day 3 flew. By the time you looked up, we were in the 7th round.
I know. And if you take out Mark Rippon's pick, it probably saves another 30 minutes too.
God. So Mark Rippon did not shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Respect to Mark Rippon, but we don't care about flag football right now.
I thought he was gonna start talking about Art Monk and
yo, he was trying to he thought he was back in 91 again. He would not stop talking, but
he thought it was the last pick.
It feels like it's time to get into it. Let's start talking about Washington's 7 draft picks. So, first round, we get on the clock at 7. The pick before the Chiefs jumped us for Mansour Delane. Arvell Reese goes to the Giants at 5. So we're sitting on the board staring at Downs, staring at Sonny Styles, and I think it was just between those two guys. Were there any, or potentially, I didn't think they'd take Tyson because of his injury history, but I thought they'd consider it. How did you feel when Washington was on the clock? It seemed like they got that card in rather quickly.
Yeah, I don't know if they liked Tyson or not. Like, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, they liked him. I honestly have no idea. I mean, they needed a wide receiver, so I feel like they had to been interested in him. I know they did like Downs, and but Styles was like always the pick. Styles was absolutely the guy. And, you know, I tweeted it out the morning of the draft, like things have shifted. I think it's between Cardinal Tate and Sonny Styles. And I didn't know Cardinal Tate was going to go 4. He didn't even know he was going to go 4. I was like, that was the biggest shocker of the whole draft.
That was crazy.
Not a single Tennessee Titan insider. And I know people that knew what the uniform looked like months before it came out. I know people who know everything about that franchise. They said they had no idea Cardinal Tate was on the table. But I don't think it would have mattered. I think even if Cardinal Tate was there, they would have took Sonny Styles, man.
I hope so.
my girl has never smiled at me as much as Adam Peters smiles when Sonny Styles comes up, man. I watched that press conference. I was like, yo, Adam Peters literally thinks this man can save that defense and turn the whole franchise around. And like, we knew Dan Quinn loved him. Like, Dan Quinn made that obvious. But if Adam Peters is like, you know, that high on you, man, I feel like he was always going to be the pick regardless. And it fell that way. And honestly, I'm surprised the Giants didn't take him. Because they said Reese is going to be an inside linebacker. Like, oh, no, we're not going to play him on the edge. We're going to play him at inside linebacker. And everyone's like, why did you take Sonny Styles?
Yeah, like, I guess they didn't want to put 2 large freak athletes next to each other in Tremaine and Sonny Styles. I guess they thought
they would get mixed up.
Clash, but yeah, it was interesting. And I think they would have took Sonny. I think they told us everything we needed to know before the draft. I remember AP sitting with Kay Adams' fine ass and talking about there's just blushing over Sonny Styles. He's a leader. He's a 3-year starter. He lines up the defense. I watched him and Dan Quinn showing their ass at the owners' meetings when it came to talking about Alexander Sonny Styles. And the fan reaction, like some of the things I've already seen people throwing Jamin Davis at him. Nothing about Sonny Styles resembles Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis got drafted in the first round because he ran a fast pro day 40 and because Ron Rivera valued his military upbringing. Like, what are we talking about?
Literally that. No, I mean, I think it's a good point to, like, you have to address it because everyone's like, how do I know this isn't just another freak athletic linebacker? I'm like, outside of Jamin Davis and outside of like Isaiah Simmons, who are the other like first round linebackers that were that athletic that just didn't pan out? But then also, when was Jamin Davis ever the kind of tackler, the kind of leader, the kind of coverage player as Sonny Styles? Like, never. He was just, like you said, super fast, athletic, and they thought, oh, this guy might be able to come off the edge. He might be able to, like, rush the quarterback. But it's like, no one thought of Jamin Davis as just this, like, high impact player that, even with Sonny Styles transitioning positions, like he's already better at linebacker than Jamin Davis ever was. Like there was no hype around Jamin Davis. Like, oh, this is a blue chip guy. He's going to be your green dot. He's going to do this. He's going to, just change the defense and make impact. It was like, oh, he's fast as shit. Like we can figure something out. Like it was never going to be like that. So for me, it's just a completely different prospect. Just because you play the same position, just because you run fast, not the same player at all.
Not the same, not even close. He's not Isaiah Simmons either. And I cannot blame this team for going all in on defense all through free agency and with the first pick. Sonny Styles transition positions and is already really good at the linebacker spot. And in this Durante Jones scheme that we're all assuming it's going to be similar to what Flores runs up in Minnesota. We have two of the three freakiest athlete linebackers in the history of the NFL draft in the same room that you can move around. You can blitz them off the edge. You can send them up the middle. They can come downhill. The options are endless to what this team could do. So with the drafting of Sonny Styles and the addition of Leo Chanel, where does Frankie Louvu fit in this room now? Because when I say those two names, the first name I want to say next is Jordan McGee. How does Frankie Louvu fit in now with 1 year left on his deal?
Hey, RIP Jordan, bro. I don't know where Jordan going to be at on that field. It might be on the sideline. For Frankie, like, I think him and Leo might have similar roles because Leo's he's going to play on the edge more than people realize. Like, he's going to be a heavier blitzer than people realize. Like, he is best when he can just run straight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Frankie Louvu is terrible in coverage, but I just think he was like so out of position, especially last year. Like 2 years ago, he was fantastic, dude. He was like what 50 something or 60 something in the NFL top 100. Like people are like, yo, Frankie Louvu was a dog, and then they like moved him like far outside. He was getting picked up by like offensive tackles every play, and I don't know. I think you're going to see a lot of different looks. You're going to see a lot of 3 linebacker sets. You'll see 2, but then you're going to see like Leo Chanel on the line, like coming off and blitzing. I think him and Leo can kind of do the similar thing, but that's a good thing. Like, because offense is not going to know who's coming. They're not going to know who's doing what, who's responsible for what. Sonny Styles can play all 3 positions too, like fantastically. And I think he will. That's something he's already talked about. Like, yeah, they're going to just like run me loose. I think that's what they need to do for all 3 of them. Not be like, hey, Leo, this is what you're going to do. Hey, Frankie, you're going to play these downs. This is what you're going to do. And hey, Sonny, just stand in the middle and kind of play spy and take up a lot of space. Not at all, bro. We're going to see them all over the field. You're going to be like, where's Leo at? Oh, he's over there. Where's Sonny Styles at? He's over here this time. So just having that kind of athleticism and then also like versatility. I know a lot of us hate that word. But
position flex, Ron made us
position flex. But like the versatility, like you can play on the line, you can play in the box, you can go into coverage. That linebacker group is scary, bro. I don't want to say it's like the Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw coming up with Leo Chanel and Sonny Styles, but bro, they're both so young. Mm-hmm. They're both in their early 20s.
Yep. And this dude, he knew he was going to be a commander, and he even predicted it on camera earlier in the day. Everything about him from a personality standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, screams commander tag. Him and Caleb Downs pretty much were born to be commander tag football players. So I'm excited to see Sonny Styles as the head of this defense. That's your green dot guy. I want us to stop this weekly captain nonsense and put a C on his chest. I want to see on his chest. I want to see on Jaden's chest. I want to see on Terry's, Tressway's, and Revo's chest. Put a C on them. Let's stop this weekly captain nonsense, please.
So many people got mad at me when I said that. I'm like, it's literally just a participation trophy.
I hate
like
that shit,
bro. It drove me nuts.
It's about the equivalent to the Raiders making them earn the decal on the helmet right now. They got their helmets buck naked right now. Like, oh, you got to earn the logo. This is not ankle biter football. This is not top.
Y'all remember we had the first pick.
This is great.
And we didn't just win the Super Bowl. What y'all talking about? Y'all lucky I'm here. You're lucky I agreed to join the team.
Super crazy. So Let's finish the Sonny Styles conversation up and move on to the third round after you tell me what's your grade for the first round pick and what number would you like him to wear in DC?
Oh man, give him 6. He got it worse. I'd say 0, but everyone came at me when I said that. They said, "Oh, that's so disrespectful." I'm like, Sonny's got a starting spot. Mikey doesn't.
I think Mikey's your starting corner on the outside, though. So that's
might be.
Yeah, I think that's where we're headed.
Shout out to Diego Pavia. He's going to be at the mini camp for the Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to Diego.
Pavia's going to be at the Ravens mini camp.
Yeah, like
they give him a little invite. They give him a little invite before he goes to play.
Didn't even sign a deal. It's just a workout.
Oh, yeah. Before you go to the Defenders, go get you some NFL mini camp, man. You got to get the experience, bro.
No, he'll definitely be in the UFL. But I mean, I give it an A because, like I said, people were mad at it. I remember the poll I did, though, with Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate. It was literally dead on 50-50, which is crazy. But when's the last time Washington has had its like Jaden Daniels on defense, like an actual true leader to build around, like defensively that's young? Dude, I don't like.
It's been a very long time. I think they wanted that to be Chase Young, but it didn't pan out that way.
Yeah, but even like Ryan Kerrigan on the edge. What all is he doing, like green dot wise, like leadership on the line? He's just sitting there like, guys, I'm gonna get after the quarterback. Y'all figure that shit out. Like, y'all tighten up.
Contributor. He wasn't what this was supposed to be. Yeah,
like the glue that can really just hold it together. That's what Sonny Styles is gonna do. So I love it, man. I gave it an A. I know some people hated it, some people like it, but we need that was a need for sure.
That was definitely a need. I'm gonna give it an A+ because that's value that probably shouldn't have been there at pick 7, but thanks to teams taking wide receiver 2s at number 4 and the Arvell Reese pick instead of Sonny Styles, we were blessed to be able to select him. I'm gonna give him an A. I'm gonna give the squad an A+ for our first round pick. I have no complaints about it at all. People got mad because we gave Sonny Styles a golf clap, but it is what like. I love the pick, but I'm not doing backflips over off-ball line. That's not the position. It's not provocative. It don't get the people going as much, man.
It's not a Porsche. It's not a Ferrari, but it's just like a damn good F-150.
Yeah,
like I like it. I like a good truck.
I'm saying you're not going. You ain't gonna go try to stunt in it, but I'm happy we made the pick. It's an A+ pick for me. My guy Door Gunner said Ron would have drafted Eli Heidenreich at 71. Who got Heidenreich, by the way?
The Steelers.
The Steelers got him. Okay.
No, I tell you what, with the 7th overall pick, Ron would have took Keldrick Falk.
He would have took Keldrick.
Keldrick Falk.
Yeah, he would have looked us right in the eyes at the podium and said, I like this guy. I really do. I really do.
I hope he falls to us. Yes, he fell to you, Ron, because nobody wanted him.
Shout out to Riverboat Ron because his failures and his ineptitude got us to where we are today, and it landed us a franchise quarterback. So he will always be an integral part of how we got here and how 2024 was able to happen. So shout out to Riverboat Ron. My guy Tucker said, "What up, Josh and Rio? Williams at 71 is crazy value, which is a perfect segue into our next player. At the 71st pick, so many. Remember the exercise of this person's not going to be there. This person's not going to make it to 71. Just about every person we ruled out to be at 71 was on the board at 71 when Washington picked. Who did you want the team to take, and what are your immediate thoughts after they take Antonio Williams?"
I just wanted a wide receiver, to be honest with you.
Yep.
It was Chris Bell. I wanted Chris Brazel, but then I heard he had like really bad character issues, and that's why he was falling. So I was like, okay, I can see why they didn't take him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he had like a bunch of like off the field like red flags. So I like asked around, I was like, why is he falling? Like
AP would never.
Oh yeah, I mean, but they brought him in for a top 30, and they're probably like, like no. But I was like, yeah, just give me a wide receiver. But dude, I didn't even talk about Antonio Williams because I was like, there's no way he doesn't go in the second. Like,
same.
Like, I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. That'd have been like me talking about getting like Denzel Boston after we picked that 7. Like, there's no way in hell this guy's going to be there at 71. Like, him, Omar Cooper Jr. I thought Antonio Williams was going to be wide receiver 7, 8 off the board. Like, I thought we were going to have that run in the second round, and I thought he was going to be right there in the middle of the second round. I was honestly stunned. Like, I forgot all about him. I was like, wait, he hasn't been taken yet? Like, but dude, no, I think fit wise from everybody that was on the board, he was the best fit for David Blau's offense. Like we can talk about how important it is to have an outside wide receiver, and I know Terry McLaurin's great, but dude, like Amon-Ra St. Brown in the Lions offense
It's everything.
is everything. Yeah,
He's the
without
engine.
him, like Jameson Williams, he's gonna have his moments. He's gonna have his big plays. He's super fast. He's a downfield threat. Cool. The offense doesn't go through him. It goes through the running game and it goes through the slot. Like these RPOs, the play actions, spacing the middle of the field wide open and creating plays after the catch. That is exactly what David Blau needs. And man, I preached about it. I was like, they don't have a slot receiver. Like, don't tell me Jalen Lane. Don't tell me Luke McCaffrey. Like, save that shit because neither of those two can do what David Blau needs on offense. Like they're both not good route runners. They're not good after the catch. Like they just don't have that athletic ability to like make explosive plays across the middle consistently and get separation and all that stuff. Even Luther Burden, dude, like I think him next year is going to be insane. Like with Ben Johnson running that same kind of offense, you need a good slot wide receiver like that.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop saying slot like it's a slur.
We talked about this. We talked about this.
Receivers get busy, bro. Yeah. Amon-Ra produces on a level we've never seen here as a fan, ever.
Yeah,
ever.
And I'm not saying he can be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, is that his ceiling? Cool, sure. Even Amon-Ra was a late round. What was he, third?
He was also a third rounder because that's where I was about to go next. I'm about to say third round slot receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown went in the third round. Wear number 14, and you can look just like Amon-Ra St. Brown in this offense, in an offense that's begging for a second pass catcher in the wide receiver room to catch on. This is a true route running assassin. When I see people saying we keep drafting receivers that are the same, who is the same as Antonio Williams in the room right now?
None of them.
If it ain't Jalen Lane or Luke McCaffrey, and it damn sure ain't Diami or Traylon Burke. No. So I'm unfamiliar with who people are talking about when they say it.
And I'm so glad that Adam Peters came out and said he's going to be in the slot, but he's also going to be a Z, because that's what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. But like he's going to be off the line. He's going to be used in motion a ton. You're going to see him motioning from outside to the inside, and he's just going to blow like the middle of the field wide open. He's going to create so many explosive plays. And if you look at what he did at Clemson last year, first off, that team was toxic. TJ Parker, Peter Woods, him, Avion Trell were all supposed to be first round picks. Antonio Williams was a first round pick going into next season.
People didn't. He was like the number 2 receiver draftable going into the season. I remember that shit.
It was like him and Jordan Tyson. People didn't care about Cardinal Tate at the time.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
Antonio Williams was there because he popped off in 2024. But then also they said, hey, Antonio, we're going to move you just to the slot in 2025. And you're just going to be stuck there. But in 2024, his role was exactly what he's about to have in Washington, and that he popped off in 2024.
Hey, so 75 catches, 900 yards, 11 touchdowns. I'm not kind of keep being petty and keep taking shots at Carnell Tate, but Carnell Tate never had a 60 or 70 catch season. Carnell Tate did not have a 900-yard season, and he damn sure did not have a double-digit touchdown season. The receiver we took at 71 did have one in 2024 when Cade Klubnik actually looked like a good quarterback.
When he could actually throw. That's what I'm saying, man. Like that, Clemson was just that bad last year. You had 4 first-round picks, and you just plummeted all of their stocks. Like it's just, I hate Clemson. But yeah, but he does have like he had a couple injuries. They're not like big ones, but it's just last year he started the season with an injury, so that kind of derailed things quick. I think he got hurt in week 1, and then he missed like week 2, week 3, maybe week 4. But like outside of that, man, I was so glad the AP said that, because I'm like, that's what they need to do with this kid. Don't just send him in the slot and be like, all right, go run, your route tree and get passes for us. Like, you're going to see him moving so much before the snap. During the play, he's going to be streaking across the middle of the field and just, dude, targets are coming to Antonio Williams. I can promise you that.
I guarantee it. And I clash. I love everybody in the chat and everybody in the comments. And I know the consensus is typically we want a 6'3" receiver. We want a 6'4" receiver. It's 2026, baby. It's 2026. That does not have to be your number one or number two pass option anymore. The main thing, I've watched Jaden play here for 2 years, and my biggest wish for him is to have a room full of sudden separators, guys who flash open and show hands immediately. We have too many guys who don't separate, too many guys Jaden has to throw open, and that Jaden has to put the ball in the end zone to score a touchdown. I want guys that can get open, catch it, and make something happen with the ball in their hand. He has yards after catch ability as well.
Yep, Jackson Smith and Jigba, 6 foot. Jamar Chase, 6 foot. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 foot. Zay Flowers is 5'9", and he was 7th last year. Chris Olave is 6 foot. Your only good big wide receivers. I mean, even Jameson Williams is 6'1". He feels like he's lengthy. Puka 6'2". Mm-hmm. George Pickens is 6'3", and he's just a contested catch guy. He catches everything. And then like Nico Collins. CeeDee Lamb 6'2", but like Justin Jefferson 6 foot, 6'1". Mm-hmm. Like this isn't. You're not gonna just find a Megatron like this ain't the '90s. And you're just gonna throw it deep and say, "All right, go get it for me." Like everybody, like even Devontae Smith, man, 6 foot.
Yeah, he hit number one now. He hit number one now, too, because A.J. Brown is up out of Philadelphia. But I love the Antonio Williams pick. They said, Rio, you were more excited about the Antonio Williams pick than you were Sonny Styles. You want to know why? Because receiver is a sexy position, and I want more from my quarterback. I love Jaden Daniels with my whole heart. I want us to give him more. You now have Jaden's number 2 option. That is his number 2. I don't care if he's on the slot. I don't care if he's on the outside. I don't care if they move him around. That's your number 2 option on the offense in the passing game now.
Yep. Finally.
Even as a rookie, I'm feeding him. Chig, Antonio Williams, Terry, there are 3 actual.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget about Chig, bro. I'm glad you said his name.
Hey, Chig, once you remember that Chig was acquired in the, because we didn't get no weapons for real in the offseason. So Chig as a tight end, Antonio Williams in the slot, Terry on the outside. I feel a lot more comfortable about the wide receiver room. I don't want to keep talking about this San Francisco shit, but let's just play hypothetical for a second. Don't hate me, y'all. Antonio Williams in the slot, a healthy and in football shape Ayuk on one side, Terry McLaurin on the other side. How would you feel about that wide receiver room in September?
I mean, I feel much better for sure than Chris Moore being out there. I can tell you that like Brandon Ayuk 1,000,000% is going to come to Washington when he gets released. So I mean, he has not even thought about playing for another team. Like I can promise you that's exactly what I heard. He is not even entertaining going to another team. Now he's been healthy since like week 9 last year. Is he the same Ayuk as before? No. What I'm expecting is about 70-75% of Ayuk. I think he's in football shape. I don't think that's a thing. People are saying he looked out of shape in that Instagram post.
Instagram picture, man. Everybody I can look drastically different right now than I do in a picture in 20 minutes from now. But that picture was looking a little crazy, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, bro, my boy just got off the jet. But I mean, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Like, I'm not expecting the exact same Brandon Ayuk, for sure not. But still, I am expecting an impactful Ayuk. So I think that is a much better wide receiver room. I don't think Jennings is an option unless he just wakes up one day and realizes that he's being completely stupid with what he's asking. But if so, Washington does like him. They have interest in him. If y'all want a big wide receiver, that's him. But he's asking for just insane numbers. I don't think it's going to happen, especially after this draft. I feel like a lot of teams that needed a wide receiver got a wide receiver. So I don't know. I think they could be done after they add Ayuk. I think that's it. And then they run into the season. And I'm fine with that. Like Jalen Lane and Luke are your special teams guys who can be depth wide receiver options. Every team has those. I think those are critical. Would I have drafted him in the third? Probably not. But it is what it is. That's where we're here. Like that's where we are. But no, I think Antonio Williams is going to be a stud. I think Williams leads the team in receiving touchdowns next year.
I was gonna say I was about to get into some quick little over unders, what we can expect in year one. That's an easy A grade pick for me. That's an A for me. He was, like you said, he was one of those guys that I would pair with like Jeremy Bernard, where I don't even really have to go too deep into this player, Pauls, because
that was a big
going, they're going in the second round of the draft. That was crazy. That was
I would never say I'm going deep in a player. I ain't gonna lie.
Because they're not going to be there at 71. We did this exercise with a lot of players. I don't see any reason why he has less than 50 catches and 600 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns in year one, because they are going to treat him like, you've been here for years. We desperately need this. And if Blau's running anything like Ben Johnson's offense, not trying to put St. Brown type expectations on him, but your offense just got its Amon-Ra St. Brown. So why not?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's an A grade too. Like the one thing that Peter said that's so true is like everything he does is so NFL caliber already, like his release package, like his IQ of like knowing how to win it and like against zones and where to sit. And, you know, exactly how to attack leverage, attack DBs. Like, who was it? Todd McShay said that he thinks that he's the best route runner of the whole draft. He's like, I think he's the most elite route runner in this entire class. I think his release package and his route running is a tier above all these other guys that we're talking about, which I think it could be. Like, we know Jordan Tyson's smooth with it. He does his little fancy finesse moves and stuff like that. But, like, from a pro standpoint, like with his route tree and, like, just how clean everything is, Jordan Tyson kind of freestyle some shit, like make everything look fancy, but Antonio Williams is like very crisp in his routes, man. And I don't know. I think Terry will have more yards, but I think you're just going to see so many opportunities, especially in the red zone. Doesn't get talked about enough, but you're going to see these little beneath routes, these little crossing routes where he's just going to catch something.
He's going to eat
and take it to the crib. Oh, dude, he's going to demand targets.
Yep. And in a draft class full of guys that they tell us cannot get off man, Antonio Williams be beating the shit out of man defense.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
A real route assassin, a true slot receiver. It's an A for both of us on Antonio Williams. We're going to go to the pick at 147 after a quick break from this, from our sponsor, Prize Picks. America's #1 sports pick application, Prize Picks, is a daily fantasy sports platform. Distinctly separate from sports betting, the app is really easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats to create a lineup. It could be points, yards, strikeouts, touchdowns, etc. Platform even offers team picks where you can pick the winner, spread, and total on any major game. Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. And just like social media, you can follow me on the Prize Picks app at Rio Robinson 91 and tell my lineups before they hit my video or live stream on YouTube. New user offer. Play $5, get $50 in lineups today. To download the app using promo code HMA. One more time, that was promo code HMA. Link is in the description below. Shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Big Prize Picks. That was code HMA. $5 to get you $50 instantly, and it's available in over 35 states, including California, Florida, and Texas. Let's get going toward our 147th pick. And this was a guy that I've seen a lot of people a lot higher on than I expected. Joshua Joseph's edge out of Tennessee. They went and signed 1,000 edge rushers, and they went and grabbed another one and ignored the secondary once again. What are your thoughts?
I figured they would take edge because Odafe Away is the only one that's going to make the roster that's under contract after the season. I like Chason. I like Charles Omenihu. We'll see what Drake can do, but like you needed another long-term answer. This is another one of those value picks. He was expected anywhere from the 60 to 95 range is what I had him marked at, and he went to 147. So I saw that as a big win in itself. He's just 22 years old, plenty of talent and development still to tap into. He only had 5 sacks in 2025, and people are like, oh, okay. but he was in like a heavy rotation. He only had 184 pass rushing snaps, which is like
It was on a pitch count.
Yeah, it's like half of what like David Bailey was like facing. Like he was out on every play. Not Joshua Josephs. 21.3% pass rush win rate, 32 pressures. He's 6'3", 242, so he's a little undersized, but he has 34-inch arms, which is longer than some offensive tackles. Most offensive tackles, I'll say. So he just wins with his ability to just stiff arm and get around blockers with his jab. I said his speed, his explosiveness, and his length give him a high ceiling, and it helps him. And he's an underrated run stopper. I keep seeing people say, "Oh, he's a liability in the run game." He had an 8.2% run stop rate, which is well above average of this entire class. So I'm just confused why people said that. But no, I think he's another one of these guys where I was like, I didn't think he was going to be there. But I think a year of him being in a committee behind Chason, behind Dorrance Armstrong, whatever the hell he looks like, and behind UDFA away, like he's going to have a role as a rookie. But I think the upside, the long term with Josephs is absolutely there, man. Like he's got it. I think he's got it.
Yep. And he's robust. You know what I'm saying? And when I see him athletically and I see what he's put together, like I thought this is an AP ass pick. He don't want to see no 29-inch arms from Ruben Bain. Maybe Dan Quinn like that type of guy. 35-inch arms. That looks more like what AP wants. An athletic, like size guy. Well, he's a little bit on the lighter side weight wise. Yeah. He don't look like
42. No, he doesn't play like it.
He doesn't look or play like it. And I knew they were going to add another edge at some point in the draft because despite all those signings we made, it's a lot of one-year contracts, and the only one under contract after this year is UDFA away. And it immediately made me think it may be over for Javonte Jean-Baptiste here in DC.
Yeah, I don't feel good about Drake Jackson either. Like I said, there's just a lot of bodies in that room now. Yeah, and people don't talk about Dorrance Armstrong. Like I think
he was hooping last year.
Yeah, like what I don't know what kind of condition is he in. Dietrich Wise, they brought him back. Like, what condition is he in? I don't know, man. But I'm excited about his potential. The 5th round picks, like you don't really expect him to be like some day one starter on defense, but man, give him a year where he's just sitting behind and seeing what Chason could do. Because I think they're pretty similar. But as we saw in Chason's documentary, where like the Patriots were dead honest with him, like, hey, we want a better run stopper. Like, you're just not doing it for us. Like, no offense. I think Joshua Josephs is already a better run stopper than what Chason could be. But I think Chason got double-digit sacks in his back pocket waiting. Yep. So I think Josephs needs to watch Chason a little bit. You know, be in that rotation, work with Henderson, the new defensive line coach. And
I love this guy. I love this Coach Henderson, man.
Dude, yeah, I cannot wait to see what he does with his defensive line. Like he's one of those ones. Aaron Donald's like, that's my guy. Like he's one of the best I've ever been around. So I don't know, man. Like I don't think this guy's just athleticism. I think this guy's got some tools. You can't teach length. You can't teach, the pass rushing moves he has. He has a great swipe. Like I said, that stiff arm is nasty where he just jabs the offensive tackles in the chest and pushes them back and gets them off their spot. Like, I think just a couple tweaks here and there, get them in the NFL weight room, get them at 250 and we're cooking.
Hey, and what is an NFL? Who do you think he plays like? Because I think in year one, all he has to be really is a situational rusher and just get in to spell some of the veteran guys. But is there a specific think he plays like or models his game after?
Well, I was gonna say like him, and I kind of mentioned Chason. I think they are kind of similar. Chason's 6'3", but he's a little bigger. He's 254. But just from that standpoint, like Chason was always kind of like that rotational like pass rusher guy. But once again, like in Durante Jones's defense, when you have these odd man fronts, you're going to have like that smaller outside guy. Like sometimes it'll be Leo Schnall. I think sometimes they're going to put Joshua Josephs out there and he's going to be like in a 2-point stance. Like he's just going to be standing up, kind of, moving around, trying to get offenses like predict what's going to happen. So I think that's why it is good for him to be in a room with Chason, because I feel like they kind of fit that similar mold. They attack the same way off the line. That's just the first person that came to my mind when we got him. I was like, okay, if Chason's on a 1-year deal, this could be your long-term answer. If Chason like just has an okay or average season, like you can go in free agency. Like we've got your replacement already from the draft last year.
Yeah, all fifth round picks aren't created equal, unlike the
No.
Dominique Hamptons of the world who are popping balloons on the internet these days. I feel like
that was
Joseph,
crazy, dog. I can't believe that.
that is wild, man. That boy said project manager and electrician. He didn't even mention the sport of football to them late. Hey, but they didn't pop the balloons. So maybe, hey, shout out to Dominique Hampton. There's a defined role for Joshua Josephs. We know exactly what he is. He's a high effort player. I don't see him giving up on plays based on what I've seen, and he could develop into something more. I like the pick. I'll give that pick a B. People are saying the value there at where we got him at 147 is tremendous. So I think some people have it graded even higher.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen him as high as 60 and I've seen him as low as 95. We got him at 147. So yeah, crazy. I thought he was one of those like late second, early third round guys that could go off the board. And he fell to us in the fifth round. So I was stunned, honestly.
Love it.
But yeah, I gave it an A- to be like, honestly, I was really high on that pick because that value was just insane. But this next guy is like, this is all I want to talk about. Katron
Allen. I know you want to get to that. Let me read a couple super chats. We're going to move on to 187 because the value there is phenomenal. My boy DK, people can be mad at the position, but just remember when Bobby was running down the sideline with Bijan or running 50 yards down the middle of the field with Tucker Kraft. We remember that shit, DK. We made Tucker Kraft look like the second coming of prime Travis Kelce during week 2, and I can't unsee Bobby trying to run a swing route down Bijan Robinson in the open field. Not to worry anymore, my friends. We have two speed coverage linebacker demons in the building now. So we don't have to worry as much about that. Door gunner, my God, once again, so obvious. Neighbors hates the Neighbors has no filter. Neighbors like me. He has no polish. He has no filter. He's not buttoned up at all. You cannot have him on a live broadcast reacting to draft pick because he was way too honest at Bleacher Report.
He hates Cardell Tate. He hates Arvell Reese. He hates the Cowboys for taking Caleb Downs. Like
he hates the Giants.
Yeah, he hates the Giants.
He thinks their picks was some bullshit.
Dude, they had to address that. Did you see Harbaugh then talking about it?
Yes, bro. The league neighbor is just a real nigga.
That's a Harbaugh. The Dexter Lawrence stuff. You got players missing the first day. Neighbors, like
I love
Harbaugh. He's stressing already, bro.
I love it.
You got Cam Scatterbo doing anything in the world he wants to.
Such a basement organization, bro. I love that for them. Malik Neighbors is counting down the days where he could force a trade on the franchise tag. And I love that for him. I hope his life gets more miserable because at some point of his career, he's going to find his way down the friendship road back to here to play with Jaden Daniels. So please keep hating your life over there. Please. Lord Gunner also said, get open quick and catch the ball. That's all I need. That's all I need. And you know what makes it easier for a wide receiver? A top 3 rushing game in the league. We already are about that without adding backs. This year they add Rashad White, they add Jerome Ford, they bring McNichols back, and now they add Penn State running back Katron Allen. Big Brock 44 in the chat. You've been calling this shit for weeks now. Talk to me about what Washington is getting because this is one of the more productive backs in the entire class at 187.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely love Katron Allen, and I am slightly biased, but it's for a good reason. So I covered Penn State for Rivals, and I remember they recruited. I was there when they recruited Katron. I covered him his first 2 seasons. And I was like the expectations was he was just going to be a really good, number 2, even number 3, because they had like Quentin Martin. They had a bunch of running backs on that squad. Like five stars all the way back. And like, okay, he's out of IMG Academy, which is like pretty much the NFL of high school.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, yeah, Katron's going to be a little bit something, but Nicholas Singleton, he's Gatorade Player of the Year, one of the best running back recruits ever. Like, it's his team. And like I told you, man, Katron snatched his chain. And they're like, we can't take Katron off the field because he is just dominating cats. As a freshman, he was running all over people. The all-time leading rusher in Penn State history with 4,180 yards.
all-time leading rusher, bro. Saquon played for that university.
And that's what I'm saying. And I know Katron was there, I think, a year more than Nicholas Singleton. I mean, than Saquon.
Yeah.
But Katron Allen was in a committee his entire career, bro. I'm sorry. This team does not like Bill as much as y'all do. And the sooner you realize that, the easier your life is going to be. I love Bill. I think he's a great home run, runner.
Change of pace.
But like, what's he doing for you on passing downs? What's he doing for you in, pass protection? Nothing. Like nothing. And I think Katron, I had someone tell me that Katron Allen wasn't going to make the roster. I think Katron Allen leads in rushing touchdowns next season.
Now he's 1,000% making the roster. I would even go there to say he's the power back on the team immediately. He has a skill set that's unlike everything else in the room. And if we're calling a spade, he's the only bell cow high volume running back on the roster right now.
And he doesn't fumble.
Ever.
Yeah. Almost 800 of his 1,300 yards came after contact. He forced 57 missed tackles in 2025. And someone told me he's not a big play running back. He had 17 carries of 15 plus yards last year.
Talk to him.
Nicholas Singleton, the juice ran out. I don't know what happened to Nicholas Singleton, by the way. Like, I don't know. First year, he was long run after long run. Last year, Katron Allen was the only one having those. I think Bill can absolutely still be that home run back. I still think he can be this, change of pace guy. And, he's fast. He has great vision. He's elusive. He does things that Katron Allen can't do. Katron Allen doesn't have that single line speed. He can't run to the outside like Bill can. But if you're looking for a gap scheme runner who can just run between any blocker and look for the open lane, and what he does so well, you'll see linebackers think they know exactly where he's going. And all of a sudden, he's on that other side of the line, and they are completely out of place, and they are fighting for their lives to get back across the line. And by that time, he's already stiff-armed him into the ground, and he's getting upfield. Man, Katron, bro, I went off when we picked him.
Somebody said 800 of his 1,300 yards was after contact. That's absurd. That's is crazy, absolutely absurd. I listened to his little media scrum Zoom interview. It was some awkward looking shit. That boy looked like he could chew through a log, bro. He looks like 7'5" too. He looks like he eats footballs, bro. That dude looks like an NFL running back if I've ever seen one. He got an NFL running back body. And when you say the team is not as high on Bill, all I will say is I know it was a different offensive coordinator. Even when Bill was getting the lion's share of carry, they were tapering when to put him in. He could never get the first snap of the game. Remember, they were waiting like a quarter to get him going each week.
Yeah. And like, how many fumbles did he have last year? Like 3, 4?
I don't know, but those first two, they like took his confidence away, and he ended up in the doghouse for a couple months.
And like I said, dude, I love Bill. I'm still high on Bill, but Rachaad White is one of the best pass protecting running backs in the league. One of the best receiving running backs in the league, too. Just an absolute like fantasy football demon. Man, I don't know. Like, I liked Chris Rodriguez. I think Nicholas Singleton is Chris Rodriguez, but like
way more
the ceiling is through the roof, dude. Oh my God. Like, I am so excited for Katron, dude. And once again, I did not dream that he would be there in the 6th round, dude. I had him like creeping on the top 100. I had him over Nicholas Singleton. I had him over a bunch of running backs. I was like, there's no way in hell they're going to let this kid get, past the 5th round. Yeah, I was like, there's no way he's even going to go in like the 4th, bro. Insane value. I couldn't believe it, man. I know fans are going to defend Bill and be like, oh my God, they got another running back.
It don't even got to be that serious, bro. Let iron
fans will love it, dude. Fans will love it. He wants to be called Fat Man because he was 10 pounds when he was born. He's like, don't even call me Katron, bro. Just call me Fat Man, please. Like, that's what my mama named me. He's going to get a ton of goal line carry. Every goal line carry is coming for Katron.
My first thoughts was David Blau. If he's trying to do the Ben Johnson thing, there
This is
goes your
David
David
Montgomery.
Montgomery. There go.
Yes.
You got your budget St. Brown, and you got your David Montgomery. Now get after it. Katron Allen is as productive as only a few running backs coming out. Like I feel it feels disrespectful to call him new C-Rod because C-Rod coming out was not nearly as a good college football player.
No, like I said, he was good. C-Rod was good, but nah, man. Katron's a different beast. Like him in the 6th round's crazy, bro. And I didn't think this running back class was good. I honestly think Katron could have been running back 4 or 5 in this class. Like you got Love, you got Price. I think Emmett Johnson was there, Mike Washington. But there's no reason Katron couldn't have been right after him, dude. Holy smokes, man. I'm going to be so high on Katron this offseason. Almost every article I talk about on my Substack is going to be about what Katron's doing at practice, at training camp. Like this is the Katron Allen report. Then I would talk about the rest of the team.
I'm 100% certain he makes the roster. Like anyone who thinks that this kid's not making the roster, you are looking at Jeremy McNichols and Jerome Ford way too confidently, my boy.
Jerome Ford's not making this team.
This guy is everything that we thought Brian Robinson Jr. was going to be and more, because this dude, he gets it. He plays in front of his pads. He only goes north to south. There's not going to be anything pretty about his game, but he's not going to. This is a 6 yard a carry guy. He just falls forward, gets yard, and in short down and goal line situations. Good luck tackling this boy. He looks like he got rabies. I can't wait to see this dude play football,
man. You got to have a shot before you get to the stadium. Yeah,
hell yeah, man.
Dude. Oh my God, he's so much fun. I encourage people, don't even look up just highlights of Katron Allen. Just watch Penn State games, because like he'll do the craziest thing like at the most random time. It'll be like middle of the 3rd quarter, and then he just like runs over 8 guys and scores a touchdown. You're like, okay, I did not see that coming. But man, he's so much fun. Fans are gonna absolutely love him, dude.
Man, he just block.
He just loves to play football, bro. Like I think he's one of those screw loose kids. Like,
for sure. For sure, bro. He looked like he eat logs as beef jerky, bro. Like he looked like he could chew right through a tree. Like, I'm not playing.
Love to death. Like I said, he's like the times I talked to him. Like I remember talking to him like after the Rose Bowl and stuff like that. And like you could talk to him like after games, they would have like their station set up. Just talking to him though, like that's all he cared about was just like playing football. Dude, you could ask him about anything else. He's like, I don't care. I don't know. But if you like ask him about the game and like how he did and like certain plays, dude, he would talk to you forever. But yeah, dude, he just loves to compete. And that's the thing. Like, it wasn't like I want to be better than Nicholas Singleton. He's just like, we're going to run this ball down their throat every single game and just tag team. And that's what they did, bro. Loved him, man.
Power back. The fans, the old school fans that just want to pound the rock, you're going to fall in love with Katron.
Who said Katron ate the whole conversation for us?
Hey, DK said, in my opinion, the roster is fine except for DB. If we don't get pressure, I don't know what we're doing in the secondary. Yeah, pressure will make lives a lot easier for the guys in the secondary, but I like the Katron Allen pick, and I want to give my guy Big Brock one more shout out because he has been doing PR for Katron Allen in the chat for the last 4 months. It may be his burner account. It's all love, by the way. If you are Katron Allen, pull up on string. Let's all glaze AP. He's had a perfect offseason. For as much as fans be on his ass, he has answered the call this offseason. He's checked a lot of boxes, and I thought we were at the point where a secondary member was definitely coming off the board soon. We get to our next pick, and here's the center. They've been saying all offseason, Nick Allegretti and Julian Not Good Jones are not going to get it done for you. Well, guess what? Michigan State's Matthew Golbin is the pick at 209. Washington didn't trade from any pick. They stuck and picked a center that we thought maybe would have went a lot earlier in the draft. He has the face of what I want my center to look like. But tell me more about him, Josh.
Honestly, this whole offseason, there was 3 centers I was linking to them. Golbin was one. Pat Coogan was the other one just because his leadership and like what they're looking for. And then Jaeger Burton was just like an athletic stud, but he was still super raw too. What I liked about Matt Golban, dude, he has a very strong anchor. He's got a tight grip with them hands. Like once he gets a hand on you, it's over. You're not getting out of there. But he only played one full season as a starter at center. He played a little bit. I think he played like 120 snaps at center in 2024, but he played like 700 and something last year. And he was the second best center in the entire country in his first year. So that just tells you, like, he's played left guard, he's played right guard, he's played all across the front. I think he even played some right tackle at one point. But like I said, just pass protection, only 5 pressures allowed, bro. The entire in the Big Ten on a not that good of a Michigan State team with a mobile quarterback with Childs. Like, it's hard to protect a quarterback that just stands in the pocket. It is super hard to protect a mobile quarterback that you have no idea where the hell he's going to be at. But he did a great job. Does he win the starting spot year 1? I don't know.
No,
I don't know. But if you want my hottest take of the whole stream, don't be surprised if Matt Golban is looking at Chris Paul's spot, bro. I'm not even kidding. I know like his athletic numbers, the RAS wasn't like mind blowing or whatever, but his mobility is way better. He's already a really good pass protector, but I love Chris Paul. But there's a reason why they gave him a 1-year, $3 million deal.
And that's a fact.
Like you need to be a run blocker in David Blau's offense. Like David Blau will take mediocre pass protection, but if you can't run block, you're not going to last, man. And I think Golban is a great run blocker. And like I said, I don't know, that might be a hot take. It might not be for some, but if the team's telling you he's only worth $3 million in a 1-year deal, they want to see what he looks like in this scheme, but I just don't think it's going to go well, bro. He's not going to, like, all these play action passes when everyone's like a slide. If there's a slide right protection and Jade Daniels is running out to the right on like a boot or like a play action or something, Chris Paul's going to drown 8 out of 10 times. It just is what it is. I think Brandon Coleman could play better. And Coleman's big, bro.
He's huge. He's huge, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. I think Golban could potentially compete for that left guard spot. But if not, and he just doesn't play his first rookie season, I mean, he's a 6th round pick. I'm not trying to say he's going to be like a fucking team captain year 1. But I think moving forward, Golban could be the starter in 2027. But just one season as center, I was so impressed with him, man. He's got a lot of goods. And he can play anywhere across the line. If someone does get hurt, I can see him stepping in too. So I like him. He was one of the guys I was really hoping that they would take a look at, and I can see why. I think he fits their scheme.
I think fans have to get out of the thinking that because we've found starters in the 7th round and 6th round before, that every year you're supposed to find a starter in the 6th and 7th round, because that's not necessarily a thing. That's where the lottery ticket gets even slimmer at that point. But we needed a center. We got a center, and our fans would love nothing more than to unseat Nick Allegretti, because they have no confidence in Nick Allegretti. I think the team doesn't think the drop-off from Biotish is going to be that steep. The Chargers signed Tyler Biotish, and what did they do in the 2nd round of the draft? They drafted Jake Slaughter in the 2nd round after signing Tyler Biotish. What does that say?
I think Slaughter plays guard.
You think they moved him to guard? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first season. I mean, they gave Biotish a 3 year, $30 million, bro.
They gave him $330.
Yeah. 10 per was like top 5, top 6 at the time. I can't remember if someone else did, but yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's like the Eagle thing. You draft a center and you move him to left guard. That's what they did for years. So maybe that's what the Chargers decided to do. Maybe that's what Washington does for the first year for Golban. Let him see what the NFL's like, and then hey, maybe he turns into something. Like I said, he could be the next center if Allegretti just looks terrible. You only saw Allegretti for 1 game at center, by the way.
Yep. There's not enough sample size yet.
No. So could he be? Sure. Will he be? I don't know. But I do think it's crazy that the team just pretty much says like Allegretti's probably going to be the center. Like, how do you know that? Like, I know you saw him at practice all the time, but one game.
I think they feel so confident at the positions opposite him because you know how confident you have to be in your center that in a change of scheme, you didn't go out
change
after Lindenbaum. You didn't even sniff the other centers in the free agent class, and you waited until the 200 to take one. They seem confident in him. And now that they have another kid in the room, I think they feel like the center room is now buttoned up. So that was a good pick as well. And to close out Washington's draft class, they went with, will be a surprise to some, won't be a surprise to many others because they met with this guy multiple times. They draft a quarterback, Ethan Kaliamanis out of Rutgers, formerly of Minnesota. Talk to me about why people rave about this guy.
I will say the only reason I knew about Ethan is because when I was at Penn State, my boss there also covered Minnesota and Rutgers. And I watched a good bit of Ethan Kaliamanis. He was just like an average quarterback, to be honest with you. But in 2025, it's like God just opened up everything for him. And he just finally realized how to play quarterback. Like, he's always had a strong arm, but he just didn't have touch. Like, he was just throwing everything. But last year, dude, he had 1,043 deep passing yards, which was 18th in the country, 6.6% big time throw rate, which is 18th in the country, an 11.2 average depth of target, which is 15th in the country, and a 93.9 deep passing grade on PFF, which is like top 3. So he was slinging the rock last year, but he finally figured out how to put touch on it. And they had a much improved wide receiver room too. They had one dude, I forgot his name, KJ Duff, something like that, transferred to Notre Dame. And then a guy that went undrafted too, but they actually had some talent around him, but you could just tell he was much better last year. He was actually a lot of fun to watch. And there were a lot of teams that wanted him too. He took 5 or 6 top 30 visits with teams who need backup quarterback. It was the Packers, the Bengals. I want to say maybe the Bears were looking at him. I can't remember who the other teams were, but he had a lot of visits. So I think Washington was like, hey, we don't want this cat to end up going to another team in the 7th round or get offered a lot of money in free agency, after the draft. And they got him on a cheaper deal because he's a 7th round pick and he's not getting thrown a guaranteed contract like someone else would have. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. If y'all were fine watching Josh Johnson and Marcus Mariota last year, good on you. I sure as hell wasn't. So, and Sam Hartman in preseason.
I'm about to say, get Sam Hartman the hell off the premises ASAP, bro. The handshakes, the vibration, and the morale model of a quarterback that is Sam Hartman, you no longer have purpose because they just actually put a draft pick on a quarterback at this point. So at some point, I need this guy groomed to the point that he could take over as Jaden's backup quarterback. I don't care that the archetype is different than Jaden and Marcus. If you put a draft pick on it, I need him to be one of those guys. Don't want to watch Josh Johnson or Sam Hartman play football ever for my team ever again.
He has a little Jared Goff in him. I think that's why David Blau was really high on him. David Blau was so. Did you see the call where they called him?
Yes.
David Blau was that was his guy. Same with DJ Williams too, man. You could tell they both really wanted him. And this has nothing to do with Jaden. This has nothing to do with the quarterback battle.
I seen somebody say a quarterback controversy in
the
DC.
Junkies will say it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. The stupid ass Junkies on 106.7 The Fan and that washed ass program they call a show. Are they showing chinks in the armor of Jaden Daniels? Are they going to be having a quarterback? Oh, shut the fuck up.
I promise you they'll say something along the lines of Jaden Daniels has to stay healthy or he could lose his spot to Ethan. I promise you they will say something along that lines. Give it a month when they really run out of content and they're going to throw something that out there. But backup quarterback is so valuable in the NFL, bro. People are trading draft. We saw Sam Howell get traded again. We saw Kenny Pickett get traded again.
They 2 picks for backup
quarterback. Bro, that's what I'm saying. People are like, oh, why would you draft him on the 7th? Because other teams are sending away 3rd, 4th round picks.
Good teams are drafting quarterback every year, bro. Hey, good teams will keep drafting quarterbacks, even when they have one.
Bro, yeah, like I said, I liked Ethan. I was surprised they didn't take Garrett Nussmeier.
LSU kid.
The guy who backed up Jaden and then took Jaden's spot when he left. I was surprised by that. I honestly thought they were going to take Garrett Nussmeier, but he went to the Chiefs. But yeah, man, Cali Commanders before Garrett Nussmeier was kind of crazy. But his 2025 film was fantastic. He was a much improved quarterback, and I still think he's got a lot more to unlock. So
hey,
you got your backup quarterback of the future.
Hey man, they must not like Nussmeier at all. I've now learned that when AP hosts you for a visit, take it
That's
very
a family barbecue visit. That ain't Top Golf is like prime real estate for AP. If you go Top Golfing with AP, you're in the circle.
Yep, you are in the circle of family. But rounding it out, I'd give the Washington Commanders a B+ for their draft this year. And I think they did a really good job of value. I think they did a really good job of taking what was there and not having a second and fourth round pick. They were as efficient as possible. I think the only reason I don't have it as an A, I would have liked to add something in the secondary, but we're about to talk about the UDFAs in a second. And you're going to talk to me about some guys that may make some noise here in DC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you too. I gave it an A- personally, just because I honestly could not believe the kind of value they got in the draft and the players that were actually available. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was catching up on the draft and I was writing a bunch of articles and stuff, and I was kind of late to the UDFA party, but that's what Sundays are for.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a couple that like I knew, and of course I know you want to talk about Chris Hilton first.
Oh, yeah. We could jump because Washington signed, 6 undrafted free agents. Robert Henry Jr., Jaden Bradley, Chris Hilton. 8. We sound 8. Chris Hilton Jr., Quentin Moore, Tonga Togiai, Jeffrey Imba. Which other ones did we sign?
You got Jaden Bradley, Quentin Moore. You got Jeffrey Imba. You didn't talk about Malik Spencer, did you?
No, I didn't get Malik Spencer.
That's
and
guy.
Fred Davis. Fred Davis as well, right?
Yeah, Fred Davis is second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Chris Hilton Jr., aka Brandon Ayuk, like
that was the guy that was out there with Diami and Jaden and them that we thought was Ayuk. That I thought was Ayuk.
Yeah, that was funny. I ain't gonna lie.
That was hilarious.
6 foot, 188 pounds. The thing I will say about Hilton Jr., and then you can talk about like the workout videos. I actually didn't watch a lot of the workout video. He ran a 4.40. But the thing is, like, dude, people were literally, I'm not even kidding. I was going back and watching it today. There was LSU people that were saying he was going to be the next Malik Neighbors. People were saying he's going to be the next like Justin Jefferson. Like, dude, people were hyping Chris Hilton Jr. up so much like 2 years ago. And he's always had this potential, but dude, he has never been able to emerge out of that wide receiver room. And I know they have a lot of talent and stuff like that, but bro, at some point you're supposed to take over like Ohio State does. Like, you're next up. He just for whatever reason, he could never do it, man. And I like the talent's there. So that's what I'm confused by. Like, what is holding him back? Like, I saw him, he was at the Hula Bowl, he was at the American Bowl, Shrine Bowl, and I did see him at the Senior Bowl, and he made some good plays at the Senior Bowl. He wasn't like one of my standouts, but I saw catches where I'm like, okay, like he's running good routes, like he's showing good hands, but I don't know. The one thing I saw in his film was that he was just like so inconsistent at times. I'm like, why can't he like finally emerge? I know he had some injuries and stuff like that, but bro, even the best ones, like if you tear an ACL, like if you're that nice, you're going to go back to being like the starter. He just could not ever get to the top. But Jane Daniels played with him for 2 years. Maybe he can get something out of him, but it's just like,
that's a Jaden. That's a Jaden friendship call right there. Man, bring my boy in for the tryouts real quick.
They already working out, so.
Yeah. But talk to me about what secondary play. Is there a player that we signed that you already feel like could make a name for themselves and make this 53 this year?
Bro, Malik Spencer's nice, bro. Malik Spencer, the free safety out of Michigan State. I heard about this cat. I didn't watch him last year, but I remember hearing about him like 2 years ago. People were talking about him being a top 100 pick. I remember Jordan Schultz said he could sneak into the first round. And like I said, I need to go back and watch to see what happened last year. I still think he had a great season last year. 6 foot, 197 pounds, has great speed. He had the 4th highest force completion rate among all safeties in the NFL draft, 22.7%. And he's a thumper. Like I saw a lot of plays where he's just laying dudes out. I watched the USC game and he laid a dude out in the end zone who's trying to catch a touchdown. I'm like, man, I seriously think Malik Spencer could take a spot. Like he's like highly regarded on the team. He's got great range. Like he might be a free safety that takes a spot on the team. Like, are we sure? I think Reeves has a spot, but like, are we sure?
Will Harris. I'm not sure. You don't even got to finish that sentence. I'm not sure, Josh.
I don't know about Will, man. But I'm just saying, bro. We saw El Cajo take a spot in a crowded linebacker room last year. In my opinion, if I had to pick one guy on this list to take a spot, it wouldn't be Chris Hilton. It wouldn't be Fred Davis, Robert Henry Jr. My money would be on Malik Spencer.
Okay.
Because they need his coverage skills. I think he could play single high safety by himself. I think he can lay some dudes out. He can set the tone. I like him a lot, dude. I will watch more of him. I probably won't watch much Jaden Bradley, even though he's a 6'3" wide receiver who was, really good. There's a lot of these guys I'm probably not going to watch, but I'm dying to watch some more Malik Spencer tape.
I will be taking a look at Malik Spencer as soon as we get off stream because that free safety room, I would love a dog to come in. I know we still got Robert McDaniels. Who knows what, like my guy mentioned, what even is Tyler Owens in 2026?
I was thinking about that today too.
I think he's just a special teams player, and we don't need to keep like wishing on a star that he's going to become something more.
He played nickel. He played outside corner. He played everything but safety, it seemed like last year. Man. It's like, but once again, Drontae Jones' defensive scheme, how does he fit? I think he could be that big nickel. Like maybe he could be a Keontae Scott like type of player, like that big nickel player. I don't know. If I had to pick somewhere, though, that's where I would put him. But he's the complete opposite of what Amik Robertson is. So I'm going to leave it up to Drontae Jones to figure that out. But, I mean, I like Tyler Owens. But I'm not locking him into a roster spot, though.
Yeah, I'm done ash burning myself with a guy like him. And also, man, rest in peace to a legend. Monte Coleman, Redskins legend, 16 seasons, was there for all 3 of the Super Bowl titles. I believe he's second in games played as a Washington Redskin, 4th in sacks. He passed away. I want to say rest in paradise, the big Monte Coleman, Washington Redskins legend, before we sign up out of here. So to close this one out, we've graded and deep dived the prospects, pause. We talked about the undrafted free agents, and Josh thinks Malik Spencer could hop into that free safety room immediately as a rook. Is there one player, either undrafted or during the draft, that you wish Washington would have took?
It would definitely be Bishop Fitzgerald.
Garfield High School's own Woodbridge.
Yeah, but went to the Titans after the draft, man. I was sad about that. Undrafted. Yeah, I thought that was surprising. I thought I had him going in the 5th round. Undrafted, man. But hey, maybe that's what Malik Spencer is going to do. But yeah, I really like Bishop Fitzgerald's ball skills, and they had him for that local pro day they did too. So I was like circling him, and I also have to give a shout out Zakee Wheatley, man.
Penn State
drafted way too late. His dad is the biggest Washington fan I know. Really good. You got a really good guy, awesome family, and I love Zakee. But he even called it himself. He said, "I'm going to be drafted by the Panthers." They showed a video, but I would have loved to get him too, man. Just somebody in that secondary that would make me feel good. But I guess I'm gonna hang my hat on Malik Spencer for now because we didn't draft one, so that's all I got.
I'm not mad at it, man. But when the draft finishes, no better time than me and my boy Josh to link up. We did it on my channel this time. He's streaming this through his channel as well. I will be happy to come on there at any time. Yo, is there? Let folks know where they can follow you, man. Your stuff is clean. Your logo is clean. Brad laced you. The banner's looking good. The way that the spear shot through the logo. I see you, my guy.
Bro. Yeah, shout out. Brad is literally the GOAT. I've been using him for logos and stuff for years now. Brad is the only guy I talk to.
Same.
But yeah, man, covering the Commanders on YouTube and covering the Commanders on Substack. I know a lot of people have been asking for like podcasts for me, so I dropped podcasts on Substack. All my videos go there as well, and all my articles are now on Substack as well. So everything you need from me, it's going to be on there. I drop a lot of cool like notes and stuff like that too, like it's Twitter. But yeah, man, covering the Commanders, Substack, and YouTube. Super excited. It's only been like a week since I kicked everything off and everything, dude.
Run it up.
Amazing support so far. So beyond thankful. And of course, shout out to Rio for having me on and coming over to the stream as well.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all go follow my guy at Covering the Commanders. Go run up his Substack and go run over to his channel because we got to get my boy's new YouTube channel some motion.
Building it up, man. Building it up. Yep. I was at 7,200 or something like that, 300 on YouTube, but I sold it. I sold it to the company when I joined, but I don't regret it. I was like, look, man, done it once. I see what Rio's doing with the channel. Absolutely can do it again. But yeah, we'll add the description and channel in the description. Lord Drago, definitely covering the Commanders on everything though.
Absolutely, man. And last one, my guy Andre 67 Poggers. Thank you, Titans, for Styles and Amos. Thank you, Reach Lords, for taking players that we didn't want to take. And speaking of Reach Lords, Grant Cohn calling out. Imagine you just finished thinking you smoked the draft, and Grant Cohn immediately out the gate says, "So why do y'all reach every year in the draft as soon as you step up to your post-draft presser?" I love it.
Grant, ever since he pressed Javon Kinlaw,
he's been on a run.
He's been just insane. Yeah, shout out to Grant, and David Lombardi is one of the cheesiest cornballs on Twitter to ever exist. Absolutely can't stand that. But yeah, shout out to Grant. He's insane.
Yeah, he's definitely. I got to get him on the channel as soon as this Ayuk shit reaches a resolution. But that seems like that's very far off.
2028 by then.
Shout out to Washington Commanders Nation. Like this stream up. Run over to Josh's channel. Like it up over there as well. Subscribe to his. Follow his Substack. And thank you to all of you that made this draft week such a success. I had so much fun doing all these streams, all these collaborations. Another draft year is in the books. We now rest. We now breathe. And we now take another week to fall out from the rest of the draft, man. Me and Josh are out. Appreciate all of y'all. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Talk soon.